You came here to answer some questions that you had from Placid, and you're on your journey to ideally finding the full potential at the Ironman distance. Do you feel like that you've taken a few steps forward in that regard from your last Ironman?
Yeah, it was a great learning experience. Swim gets canceled, absolute whirlwind of emotion. You're like, at first they shorten the swim, and then you've got like an hour and a half now to kill. And so came home, had a little nap, had another coffee, felt the, adrenaline dump of thinking your race is going to go soon and then it doesn't. Had to go through that whole thing again, and then like, I don't know, 5 minutes before I'm about to start my swim warm up, start stretching and stuff, then we get a message saying the swim is canceled. So it was just a total whirlwind. And so the cool part is everyone's in the same situation, and so you kind of roll the dice. How you feel and how you think and how it unfolds is, what you get, and you get a data point. And so I took it as a great opportunity to push myself. And so it ended up being a time trial start for the bike, and we drew straws or drew numbers. And so I was 14th to go off. So I was sort of towards the, well, exactly, I guess, 2/3 mark. And so I am trying to stay focused on myself. And so it was cool that I actually, in this particular way that the race unfolded, it was the right decision to just focus on yourself. And so I pushed a lot of power. And so I ended up holding for the first 3.5 hours just under 330 watts, which through 3.5 hours, it's probably a lifetime best for me. And I mean, I averaged 340 in Mont Tremblant, 70.3 as a reference point, and I had the fastest bike split by a minute over 90K bike. And so, it was a lot of power and probably, well, not probably, certainly beyond what I was prepared to do on the bike. And so I blew up with about 45 minutes or so to go on the bike. I averaged 250 for those remaining 45 minutes. But the reality here is that you don't know what you don't know until you know. And to be competitive now at the very top, you have to be insane at biking. And so it was good for me to sort of see where I'm at and how close to insanity I am at this moment, because if I want to be competitive, I will have to be insane. My other task for this race, because my stomach shut down in Lake Placid at mile, it was showing signs of shutting down already by mile 8 of the run. I stopped at the porta potty at mile 12 and I was puking at mile 14. So it was totally shut down by mile 14. And so my major goal here was to back off the carbs a bit and hopefully make it deeper into the race. The goal, of course, the A+, was to make it the entire race without puking or having the sensation to puke, meaning my stomach was still emptying. And I actually backed off from Placid. I was about, I think, 115 grams or so of carbs per hour. I backed off. I was trying to be dynamic this time. In other words, if I felt good, I would eat more, and if I didn't, I would back off. And I ended up hitting about 105 grams on the bike. But admittedly, I was quite nauseous. Not nauseous, but like I could feel I was not in a good place coming off the bike. I had to really ease off. And so once again, I'm back to the same thing that I said after Placid. It doesn't matter if you consume 110 or 105 if you're not absorbing it. It's irrelevant. So maybe you could work your way up there, but you're not there right now. So once again, I think it was too much, because then I probably was already on the back foot on the run. And on the run, on the other hand, I only consumed about 70 grams per hour. But I made it through the whole run, didn't puke, didn't really blow up. Of course, when you overbike, and what is the definition of overbike? Overbike is do something you did not prepare to do. That's what the overbike is. When you do that, you're gonna have repercussions of that, of course, in which I did. But I still was able to, at kilometer 36, I lapped the watch and I ran a 3K and averaging 3:43 per kilometer. So I still had something in it. I still had another gear. And then, you know, I wasn't nauseous during the run. Of course, I puked my guts out at the finish line. But so that to me means that we still have areas to improve on and to work out. Because to me, that means that the stomach was shutting down around 210 would be my estimate in the run. So we need to devise a method to get all the way to the end still absorbing. Anyhow, the race was fantastic. I wish there was a swim. It's an honor to win Ironman Canada. It's such a historic race. Many of the greats have won this race. And as a Canadian, of course, it's an honor. And things are moving in the right direction for sure. I can feel it. I can feel that my knowledge base is, I have all the pieces of the puzzle that I need. Of course, you know, you have to tinker with things a little bit, but I have many of the major pieces in place. I know how to achieve success, and I'm excited to do the work. The beauty here is that it's mainly just, you got to do the work right now for me. And that's a fun place to be in. And so we're moving in the right direction.
Have you ever thought about possibly just getting on Slow Twitch and reading on how to fix your nutrition problems?
How to fix all of my problems?
Everyone on Slow Twitch has already solved your nutrition problems.
You know what the fun part about everything is that everybody is unique. Everybody is unique. And so everyone is a puzzle. Coaching will never go out of style. And it's fun to solve your puzzle. And so I'm out here trying to solve the puzzle of me. So you're dynamic. You yourself are changing. Everything's changing, you know? So what worked in 2017 for me wouldn't necessarily work. Of course, it's got pieces of the puzzle, right? You've got pieces of the success, but you're dynamic. You're different now. Everyone's different. Everyone's changing. And that's why coaching will never go out of style, because a good coach is assessing that dynamic situation and making alterations based on the feedback that's coming in. And so it's fun to do that. And it's fun to try and stay. This game is it's pretty high now, you know? There's not a lot of room for there is no room really for weakness.
Did you dig yourself into such a pit that now we're so close to Kona, even though it's 60 days? Did you dig yourself into such a pit you won't even be able to compete in Kona now?
Everybody is unique. And I'm a person, you'll notice, in 2021, I did 5 Ironmans in 5 months, and my 5th one was my best one of the 5, the series of 5. My worst one was the first one. In fact, it went in order. Each one got better. Coeur d'Alene, almost last. Tri-Battle, 2nd place, but last. 3rd, Copenhagen, 2nd place, lost to Werf by 3 or 2 minutes. 4th one in the series, Chattanooga, which ended up being one of my best all-around Ironmans, but now we know my aerodynamics were absolutely horrible. Lost by 5 or 6 minutes to Skipper. Then, 5th in the series, Gustav, toe-to-toe, 17 miles on the run. Also, lifetime best power. So, clearly, for some people, if you did a back-to-back Ironmans, you'd be destroyed on the 2nd, and then you'd be even more destroyed on the 3rd. But the beauty is, everyone's unique. My answer to that is absolutely not. In fact, with certainty, this will have a positive effect on my Kona performance. If you recover properly and listen to your body. Don't be afraid of hard training. Be afraid of not recovering. There's no way you're going to contend against someone like Christian, who is pushing himself to literally the limits of human capacity. One of the best endurance athletes on planet Earth, pushing himself to the limits. You're not going to contend against a guy like that who's willing to go for it if you don't also go for it and take some risks. What is risk? You mitigate risk. You mitigate risk through good sleep, good eating, listening to your body. These guys like to use lactate, heart rate, RPE, Moxy sensors. fill in the blanks. All these ways you're trying to mitigate risk such that you can push yourself to the limits of your and the human capacity, really. And you're not gonna contend against people like that if you don't also get down with it. And so I want to get down with it, and that excites me. It excites me. Can I win? I may very well have missed a boat in 2017. You know, I'm an athlete through and through. I think you have to acknowledge reality. So maybe I missed the boat. 2017, maybe that was my best shot. And maybe I missed the boat. And maybe my second best shot was 2022 in St. George, and maybe I missed the boat and the door is closed for me. No problem. Does that take away that I can still have my fullest potential race? No, that is still fully available to me, and I have not achieved that yet. And so these guys, this new school crop of guys inspire me. They're like me when I started, which they're fearless. They don't think, they don't listen, they don't care what other people have to say. They execute what they feel they need to execute to be the best in what they're capable of. And that's a very intuitive way that I used to train, and I was able to achieve, you know, for me, fairly mind-boggling performances from doing so. And so they inspire me to go back to my roots from that standpoint and push myself to insane levels and recover and then do it in the race. So I'm excited to do that. And I'm excited to just keep working towards, I don't want to say conquering the Ironman distance, but solving the Ironman puzzle. And I have not been anywhere near solving it yet.
What do we have on tap for YouTube the next 60 days?
And in the next 60 days, we're going to pump out, we're going to do a 72-hour video.
So we're doing 72 hours?
72 minutes, 72 hours in 72 minutes. That's going to be the title of the video. And we are going to not be afraid to train hard. That's for sure.
All right.
And then maybe we'll go to Kona and do another Kona vlog.
Maybe.
Maybe, we'll see. Dynamic. Nothing in life is guaranteed.